Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey. This is Rob, Carter here as always. Carter, how you doing?
I'm great, man. Just enjoying some of this.
Hey, there's a breeze.
Oh, God, that feels so
That
good.
does feel good.
Yeah, we're outside recording again today, and it's still hot.
It's a hot fall day in Texas and
Yeah.
Houston.
Is it technically fall?
It is fall.
God, you wouldn't know it here.
You wouldn't know it here.
But we're trying our best to
I
make
think it's
it
fall, isn't it?
I don't know, when does it officially start? I know that we
thought-
only get like 1 month of it.
Or is it September it starts fall? September 21st.
I have no
We're getting close to fall, but it ain't fall here. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure you people in Michigan and Minnesota and the New England are
Yeah.
probably getting a chill in the air or something like
Yeah,
that.
I love watching like a sports football game or a baseball game when you see them up there, and they got a sweatshirt on. And I'm like, so jealous.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know.
And they're probably going, I'd love for it to still be nice out in, October. No.
Yeah,
It gets old being 90 in October.
Oh, I know, right? I know. Now, I will say this. Our January and February are a lot better than theirs.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, look, I'll put up with the heat that we have. I mean, there's give and take, right? They put up with the winters to have the nice summers. We put up with the horrible summers to have the great winters. Mm-hmm. Because come, sometime in October, mid to late October, until beginning of May, we are absolutely beautiful. We're talking, high 60s, low 70s every day. You do get that occasional cold front that comes through.
Yeah.
It drops down, but it's out of here pretty quick. But for the most part, we're 60s and 70s every day, low humidity or no humidity.
Yeah.
And it's just gorgeous weather.
Yeah, I think unless you live in California or something like that, you can't complain too much about weather. Other than everybody's got something to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, there's give and take.
Yeah.
There's give and take. All right, this episode, it's a new series we're going to do. We're going to see how much. I'm going to let you open this bottle.
Okay, yeah, cool.
It's a new series we're going to do called the Salad Bowl episode, where it's just kind of questions or statements. And by Salad Bowl, my wife and friends who have come over, we put out this bowl. We have sheets of paper, and you can, write a question or make a statement, something related to, food, wine, and whiskey in those worlds. And we don't know what they are, me and Carter, but we're going to pull them. And we'll pull a few an episode and discuss. We'll see what we think about what the question is or the statement is, and we'll have an opinion on it.
And just so everybody knows, we're smoking cigars.
We are smoking cigars, drinking bourbon.
Drinking bourbon. So what we're drinking today is the Baker's 7-year that is a single barrel, but this happens to be an 8-year, 10-month pick of it. I've really enjoyed smoking a cigar and drinking this pour. We'll see if it holds true this time as well.
Well, and we do have a rule for these. Even though they're Baker's 7, our rule, Carter, is
the 8-year. Only go for the 8 years.
If it's not 8 years plus,
yeah, don't buy it.
We don't buy it.
Mm-mm. I haven't had a 7 that I liked. Well, it was fine, but it's just it's not like whoa, it's not wowing you.
Yeah, I haven't even had one that I would say was fine. I just didn't like the 7. And I've had some on the nose that I thought were great, but then on the palate were awful. But anyway, let's get into this bottle, and let's get into the Salad Bowl.
Ooh, I love this.
Do you really?
I love this. My goodness, that is some good whiskey.
I got to pour some here. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, ooh. Even with that crappy plastic stopper they have there.
We still got a little pop on that.
Yeah. I do. I can appreciate that they're using the synthetic cork though, because that's gonna
last forever.
That's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever had a dusty turkey in your life, you got to be very careful with those corks.
Yo, absolutely. You almost have to use a wine pole to get them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess you really can't because they have that topper on there, but you use the wine cork once you break it.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
the wine pole once you break it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you mention the proof on these?
No, but it's 107.
107,
Yes.
which is right in our wheelhouse.
Oh,
something.
love this.
Yeah.
This is. To
There
me,
goes Kelsey.
Oh wow.
Sorry, we're watching football out back,
We're
too.
watching football, too.
Week 1 of the NFL. I don't know when this is going to be released, but just so you know, it's week 1 we're watching.
Oh, my gosh. This guy is ridiculous.
All right, you want to go first pulling from the salad bowl? You want me to go first?
Well, it's closer to you, so go ahead.
All right, I'll reach in here and pull one out.
Toss it around in there.
Toss the salad. All right, first one. Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, well.
Question mark.
Well, so we're going to differ on this because I already know what your opinion is.
I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah, you are. You like Panther piss.
Well, no, don't call me Dave Scott.
No,
For those who don't know, Panther piss is
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
The Dew.
It's a great breakfast drink, but other than that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a fridge just ready and ready to crack
You
one.
roll out of bed, you grab one.
I'm surprised he's not glowing.
I know shit.
Golly.
If you haven't heard the top 5 breakfast, go listen. You'll probably chuckle more than once
How
It's
did
pretty
he
funny.
just sidearm that throw?
because he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Coke or Pepsi? I think we can go pretty quick on this one.
Yeah.
You're Coke, I'm Pepsi. You're wrong, I'm right. Move on.
Well, I'm from the South, dude. We drink Coke. I mean, I'm from Alabama. Coke is a Georgia product.
Yeah.
That's what we grew up with.
And I don't hate Coke. I hear people go, I hate Pepsi. Do you really? Or do you just, people get into these kind of stereotypes. You might like one better than the other, but I doubt if you like Coke, you hate Pepsi.
So
I don't hate Coke.
I'll say something about Pepsi. If anybody's listened to us talk before, you've probably heard me mention that I like Taco Bell.
That'll clean your system fairly quick.
Yeah, it's
In and out, it should be called.
It's like getting an oil change.
Yeah, it is.
But,
Late at night.
God. But like guilty pleasure, I love Taco Bell, right? So Taco Bell, Yum Brands, that owns Taco Bell.
Okay, that bourbon is delicious.
It's so
dude.
good.
We just cracked that. That's a fresh crack.
Yeah, so it's a neck pour.
It's an neck pour. And
Yeah.
just think how much better it's going to get.
Oh, I know. But yeah, like if you go to Taco Bell, they have Pepsi products, and I
Yeah.
always get a Pepsi when I go to Taco
Sure.
Bell.
It doesn't bother you. You don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it.
No,
Pepsi's
Pepsi's
fine. And honestly, there's sometimes I'm just in the mood for a Pepsi.
Yeah,
You know, like-
it's kind of like, this question is more of what's your favorite. Not that one's good, one's not. Because if you think about it, let's put it in the world of wine or the world of whiskey or the world of beers. You might have a favorite, but there's a lot that you like, but you just prefer whatever profile or whatever it might be. you know?
Yeah. And I think one thing I'll mention about Pepsi, and I've discovered this as of late, that they're flavored varieties of Pepsi, like they'll have like a cherry or like a whatever.
Sure.
They're actually really
Better than the Coke version.
Better than the Coke version.
I totally agree with you on that one.
Coke's
tried.
They try. To me, I just keep going back to Coke.
Yeah.
Just regular.
I'm with you there.
I
don't drink a lot of soda to begin with, but every once in a while, there's a Coke or a Pepsi's really refreshing, and I'm kind of that simple guy where I just want Coke or Pepsi, And again, you don't see a lot of Pepsi down here, It's Coke driven in the South, so
it really is.
I understand that, but my preference in the Midwest, Pepsi was king, and we called it pop. You want a pop, not a soda. It's called a pop.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't hate Pepsi. Some people really don't like one or the other, I guess.
I think they're bullshit, and I think they're just trying to, whatever.
Yeah.
How can you like Coke but hate Pepsi?
I don't hate Pepsi.
That's what I mean. How could you?
Yeah.
How could anybody? I mean, I think that's just kind of crazy to make that statement. I only like Coke. I hate Pepsi.
We got to ask Dave Scott about Mountain Dew versus Mellow Yellow.
Yeah. This question might make us do a Coke Pepsi blind.
Oh, well, I'll know what each is.
But we're going to do a triangle.
What's that mean?
A triangle blind. So you have 2 of one and 1 of the other. And see if you really, are they the same?
That's a good idea.
So instead of just having 1 and you can tell they're different, let's put 3 in there and go, okay, which 2 are the same?
Okay. I like that.
Future episode.
I like that.
A Coke Pepsi challenge.
Coke Pepsi challenge.
I like
I mean, to me, I grew up in the 80s. Pepsi Clear, baby.
I don't even remember that.
You don't remember Crystal Pepsi?
Oh.
Where it was
it clear, though?
Yeah.
See, that shows you I never bought one.
Okay.
What I do remember, you made me think of by saying that.
Thing of all time.
Here's what you made me remember. Mr. Pibb. The version of Dr. Pepper.
The Dr. Pepper's twisted uncle or something like that. I don't know.
Here's the other one from Back to the Future when he walks in and goes, I'll have a
Pepsi free. No.
Yeah. First he says, I'll have a tab.
A tab.
He's like, well, you got to order something if you give you a tab.
Yeah.
He goes, well, then I'll have a Pepsi free. I'm not going to give you a Pepsi free,
Okay, so we've talked about this as far as movies go. I know we're just kind of meandering around here.
It's that kind of episode.
It is that kind of episode. So, okay, if we have listened to, we used to, when we've had guests on, we've talked about top 5 or top 80s movie or whatever. So, Back to the Future is my top movie from the 80s. So, I love Back to the Future. My brother texted me the other day, and they have a bar in Fort Worth called McFly's, and it's a complete Back to the Future themed bar. I gotta go.
Really?
Have you been, dude? We've got to go here sometime. Have you been to Hungry Like the Wolf in Houston?
Never heard of it.
Okay, so it's a diner, and it's all 80s themed. All
really?
80s themed diner. And like even when like you walk into the door, they have like this like the chime, like you go ding dong or whatever. It's like it does the Ferris Bueller. It's like bump bump chicka chicka. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, check. We need to check that out someday.
Talking about other 80s sodas in the Midwest, what was popular for us was RC Cola.
RC's not bad though.
And Double Cola.
I've never had that.
Yeah, those were the other two that I remember in the Midwest.
So now I agree, like root beer, for example.
You're reading my mind. I was going to say, you do an episode top 5 sodas.
Okay, well,
now you get into cream sodas. You get into.
Oh man, did you guys ever have Vernon's?
Oh, is that the root beer?
That's the ginger ale.
The ginger ale. I think I've heard of it. I don't know that I've ever had it.
Guys, I'm telling you, they sell it at most grocery stores, but you got to look real hard for it. Okay. They might have like one line of it, and it'll just be in like a 6-pack. Yeah. That Vernon's ginger ale is absolutely ridiculous.
Because I will let a little sneak preview that Coke or Pepsi, that type of cola is not my favorite. Mm-hmm. It's not in a top 5. It wouldn't be my number 1.
Oh well, I guess we'll have.
It's just a little teaser.
So okay, now I'll say this: I'm one who watches my carbs, and
I watch them too. They go right in.
Yeah, I watched them go right in yesterday because I take off on Saturdays. But anyway,
the bourbon's really good.
Oh gosh, so good. Diet soda. And I'm not going to say Dew because we all know Dave Scott. That's his favorite diet soda.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can get better than Diet Dr. Pepper.
I'm not a diet guy at all.
Have you ever tried a Diet Dr. Pepper?
No.
It's freaking ridiculous.
I mean, I kind of have this thought that if you're going to drink soda, I mean, it's like people go through, give me, a Big Mac, a large fry, and a Diet Coke. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I've done that
before.
Get
your fucking Coke.
Yeah,
be on with your day. Do you really feel better about yourself when you go, but I'm washing this down with a Diet Coke?
With a diet soda.
I mean, come on.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you on that. But I will
now,
say.
if you're a big soda guy and you're having a salad and a Diet Coke, then I can respect that if you think you're cutting out some sugar and stuff. But don't go get fast food or eat pizza or something like that and go, I want a diet soda.
That's generally not what I do. Okay. I don't get fast food and order a Diet Coke.
Okay.
Like sometimes, like I'll just feel like I want a soda, and so I'll have so Coke Zero is also excellent. Like that's one of the better like diet drinks that are
again,
out there.
Soda is one of those topics that I don't have a lot of experience with because we just don't drink it a lot. Mm-hmm. I have a Coke maybe 3 times a year, something like that. So when I get that urge, for whatever reason I go, because even if I get fast food, which I do, I'll get a half and half tea. I'm a tea guy,
Yeah, I mean, I like iced tea. I mean, I'm from the South where they put sugar in it, though.
You're starting to act like the South is like all this shit and stuff. It's really
no.
place to grow up.
First of all, yes, it is the place to grow up, and it's also the place to get diabetes.
Okay.
Because everything we do is sweet.
Greased and fat and sugar. And,
yeah, it's all bad for you. So good, though.
It is so good.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn.
Your turn to toss the salad.
Toss the salad. Okay, I gotta reach across.
Reach around.
All right, here we go. I'll just take the one off the top.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go where my mind's going. Right? Wow, this looks like it was like. Okay. Who would you like to cook for? Blank, blank. Who would you like to have a drink with? Who would you like to get drunk with?
Okay.
Oh, so this is a thinker here.
This is kind of like that, marry, kill, and F, right? This is kind of I
think so.
In that world. I think that's probably where that came from.
Okay.
So it's so tell me, what were they again? It's have a meal with.
Who would you like to cook for?
Okay, well, have a meal with. You're cooking for them.
Who would you like to have a drink with?
Okay.
And who would you like to get drunk with?
Drunk with. Okay.
Oh, man.
So let me tell you, I'll go first on my drunk.
Okay.
I want to get drunk with. I'm assuming they don't have to be alive still.
I don't think so. I'm going
to go Winston Churchill.
Oh, well.
That guy could put away some alcohol, and he loves cigars. And he would get shit-faced a lot. So if you're going to get drunk with somebody, do it with somebody who knows how to get drunk. And you get to have a cigar while you're doing it. Plus, the conversations and the stories that would be told about, dignitaries from around the world, world leaders, all this kind of stuff you get insight to. I might not remember it the next day, but I would assume the night would start with some good conversations until I forgot them. But I just think he would be a lot of fun hearing stories about how he liked to have a good time. He'd be somebody I'd like to get drunk with.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that one. Now, to me, I'm going to kind of go in a different direction here.
Okay.
This is Matt, who's not married with a kid and all this. This is Matt, who would just be completely free of all of
Are you trying to say single?
Yeah, of all of my shackles.
Okay. Shackles. Hope Yana doesn't listen. Of all the weight in your life.
Love you, babe. Anyway, I think I'd like to get drunk with Sofia Vergara.
Okay.
Because I would definitely put moves on her, and I would definitely try and
okay, so you're trying to use drunk as a weapon now, dude.
Yeah, well,
you realize this.
I've weaponized getting drunk.
You sound like a pervert in a bar. Who can I get drunk in here?
Okay, first of all, let's talk about this, right? Okay,
yeah.
So women go to bars, too, to get drunk and get less inhibited. I mean, it's not like men just do it.
So, are you saying women go in and go, I'm going to get some dude drunk tonight and take him home? Is that what you're saying they do? Some women?
I think there are women who go to bars and say, I'm going to get drunk tonight.
This has went off the rails pretty quick.
Yeah, and I'm going to get laid tonight. There are definitely women who do that.
Okay.
I know women who do that.
Poor Sophia. She's so nice. And we have a friend who's really good friends with her. We've told you that story.
Oh, yeah.
So, Al, if you're listening to this, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, she's kind of on my top 5,
Okay. Let's move on to have a drink with. So have a drink is a serious night, going to have some conversation. It's not about getting drunk. It's just about enjoying a little conversation over a drink.
That's a tough one for me. I've got to really think about it. Like this one's like a thinker. Like I feel like I'm going to like walk out of this episode and go, well, holy shit, how did I not think of that guy?
Well, I mean, I do that on a lot of episodes. I think about something. Why didn't I say that?
God, have a drink with. I don't know. I'll get sentimental here on it. So I had a really, really, really good friend that ended up passing away in a car accident. His name is John Moore. He's meant a lot to me, particularly like when I was in high school. He was like a little older than me, and he was kind of put me under his wing and all that kind of stuff. And
did you ever drink together?
We never drank together.
That's a good one, dude.
And I feel like if I could somehow recreate and have him back here, I'd love to have a drink with him.
Dude, that's a good one, and you've rebounded nicely. The listeners are going, okay, now I like Carter again. After the train wreck you gave for the first answer.
That's some kind of predator.
Yeah. My Lord.
This show is not PG, okay?
Mine, I think, would be, I think about people I really enjoy in conversations and some depth to those conversations. A person that I came to be familiar with, hear speak, see in interviews that I go, I really like this guy, how he thinks, and his intelligence to make me think. He gets you to, and I think you'll know the name, Jordan Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have a drink and some conversation with that guy and let him just kind of tell me how screwed up I might be, But he's a guy that, you think a certain way and he says something, you go, God dang it, he's right. The way he looks at things and puts things very logically and it makes sense. And, he's from Canada and he's a clinical psychologist, which might scare a lot of people, doesn't, if you ever watch him, if you haven't, check him out. But he's somebody I'm very intrigued with. And to have a drink and a conversation, he'd be tops on my list.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd love to talk to Jordan Peterson. In fact, I think he's like one of the more fascinating people that I've ever kind of seen in action, like he's got he has his own personal struggles. I know he's gone through certain things like depression and stuff like that. And I'll open up a little bit here. I've actually had to go to psychologist before, that kind of stuff, just to get my mind right. And when I was having a little bit of depression and things like that, and my particular psychologist said every psychologist has a psychologist.
Isn't that something?
Like, because most of them have issues too.
Sure.
That they can't
They're
solve,
people.
Yeah. So anyway, but going back to him, I just think he's a fascinating individual.
And so intelligent. And the way he thinks is just, it impresses and intrigues me to see the way he thinks and, puts things into actual perspective, and doesn't, he's not, just so people know, if you don't know him, he's not politically correct.
Absolutely
he's
not.
a realist, and I like that about him. I really do. And, he's I will say, if you check him out, you got to watch a lot of different interviews with different types of people interviewing him, because he does have a really good personality and a really good sense of humor. It doesn't always show, depending on the interview that he's doing, because he's professional when he needs to be. When he gets to somebody like Joe Rogan and he's on his show, he's a lot of fun. And when I saw that side of him, I went, okay, that's a dude I want to have a drink with someday.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of where that came from. Yeah.
For sure. So the last one is, who would you like to cook for? Now,
this is an evening. This is like dinner, and you're going to have drinks and wine, and this is like a night, I would think. You're cooking for them.
Can I give 2 answers?
No.
Oh, man.
How would that be an answer? I can give 4 then. You always do this. You always go top 3. Okay, I'm going to start with 4.
I just want to. I'm torn between going sentimental or just going like a like.
So it makes it tough. Like our top 5s, you got to narrow it down.
Okay.
You're going to lean more sentimental or lean more? And I don't have an answer in this category yet. I'm still thinking.
Okay, so I would like to cook for this person because I find this person very fascinating.
Well, here's my question before you say. Is it more about the person, or do you is some of your criteria for your decision, do they like food? Do they cook? Or is it just to get them alone for a night, I want to cook them a meal and hang out with them?
I think mine is because they cook.
Okay, that's kind of where I'm at.
I'd like to cook for this person, okay. And I'm sure my wife will tell you this all the time. I'll take criticism from anybody except for my wife.
Okay.
I don't
Not from her.
No, I don't take it well from her. So I would be fine with this person criticizing, the way
everything
I
you
cook
do
or whatever.
Okay.
But I bet this guy is just kick ass.
I wonder if I can think of who it is.
So
am I allowed to guess when you're ready?
Sure. Go ahead.
No, you can. If you have any more before you want to reveal, I don't want to reveal. Is there anything else you want to say?
So this guy, I will say this, was one of the people that got me hooked on cooking and being a little bit more chefy about it. And so, like, I come from, I'm going to give it away now, but I come from, like, a scientific background, and this person puts a lot of science in things.
Oh, is it Kenji?
No.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was going to be Joshua Wiseman.
No, but I love him, and we should have him on the show sometime.
When you said sciencey, I went, okay, that's not him. That's why I thought Kenji.
Alton Brown.
Oh, that's a great answer.
He's probably going to tell you do everything wrong.
Sure.
But I don't give it.
I don't know that he would. He'd probably just want to see the result. Sometimes the journey to the end isn't a pretty one, but the end result can be pretty good.
Well, Good Eats was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of that show. I thought it was super cool. And he did it so neat, like coming through the refrigerator. He'd open up the refrigerator and the camera would be facing him and all that kind of stuff. And like he got really geeky on stuff. One of my favorite recipes for Thanksgiving turkey, I almost always use the Alton Brown Thanksgiving turkey recipe, because he opened me up to like brining a turkey like that. People weren't brining turkeys when he came out with like, oh yeah, I'm gonna brine a turkey. Maybe in restaurant industry people knew that, but that wasn't like a thing.
Right, right.
So like, just think he's just a super cool guy. I bet he's got some amazing stories and amazing food experiences that he's had. I bet he enjoys a good drink once in a while. I'd love to get his take on just all kinds of different food. And I don't even care if he's hovering over me in the kitchen. I mean, I
might prefer that.
Yeah.
That's kind of more cooking with instead of cooking for. That'd be fun too.
I just think for some reason he comes to mind.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But anyway.
Okay, mine, I'm going to go in a direction of not so different. I mean, obviously, it's going to be somebody who's in the limelight. People know. I think for the most part, this guy might not be as well known to a lot of people as your answer was. This guy is a television producer.
Okay.
He's I would call him a comedian. I don't know if he does stand up or not, but he's got a great sense for comedy. He produced, and I think he just produced, maybe helped write a little bit of a sitcom that I still am a huge fan of because it's on syndication. And he recently, a couple years ago, got his own show on Netflix. And it's one of my favorite shows because he is covering food and talking about things and traveling the world. But his personality, his humor, his charm, the way he just connects with people, he just seems like somebody that would just be a blast to be able to hang out with for 3 to 4 hours and have dinner one night. And my answer would be Phil Rosenthal from Feed Phil. Have you ever seen Feed Phil?
Yeah.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
So he produced the Ray Romano.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've watched the episode. He's just great. And I think cooking a meal for him and having dinner with him one night, that's who I'd want to do it for. Might not probably an answer that surprises some people, but you have to check this guy out if you haven't. He's just absolutely, to me, one of my favorite people to watch cover food.
Yeah.
He covers people too, and he does a good job.
Well, yeah, and I kind of think, like Alton Brown, like with the Iron Chef and all that kind of stuff. He's covered food. He's, he's not only a cook, but he's
exactly.
And to me, I like the fact that, like, some people are chefs, some people are cooks.
Yeah.
And I like
that.
Well,
how do you? What's the distinction between the two?
classically trained and not.
Okay.
That's kind of how I
So not just culinary school, but classically trained.
Yeah, like you do all the, as you say, the French.
Some chefs might be offended by that because if they're culinary school, they still might consider themselves a chef.
Oh well, I think if you went to culinary school, you're considered a chef.
Okay.
Culinary school, classically trained. Like you didn't just learn from your grandmother.
Okay.
Like there's people who learn to cook from cooking at home, and then there's people who've learned to cook through going through an education or something like that.
And I'm gonna. This will be one that we disagree on, just because I don't care if you've been classically trained or not. If grandma taught you how to cook, because there's some grandmas who can cook, and you've opened a restaurant and you're freaking killing it, and you're creative and you have great food, I'm gonna call you chef. I mean, you're a chef in my book.
If you want to be called chef.
Yeah, I think most of them do, but I might be wrong.
I think a lot of people don't want to be called a chef.
Okay.
Like I've particularly like I know like a lot of like.
Look at that score.
Sounds like my fantasy team's going to be doing well today.
Everybody thought this was good. Game of the week.
Yeah, not
Cardinals Chiefs week 1. Yeah, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I mean like I think about like my grandmother, right? If I were to call her, like she was one of the best cooks I've ever been around,
Yeah.
And if I were to call her chef, she would be like, I ain't a chef, I'm a cook.
Right, but not her, but somebody who learned from her, then opened a restaurant. I'm talking about somebody who has a restaurant, but not been trained from culinary school or anything like that, but is putting out, because we know some chefs in town that haven't been necessarily trained that we think their restaurants are fantastic. Yeah. And I call them chef. I'm splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the nuance here.
Let's pick one more, and then we'll call this episode.
Okay, cool. Let's go. That last one was kind of a thinker, man. I wish I would have had some time with that. Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, I think that might have been the point. All right, last one for this salad bowl.
Can't believe
episode.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like a woman.
I'm going to pick a different one. We beat this one up. It shouldn't even be in there.
Maybe we've answered it before. All right.
Way too many times.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do it again.
All right.
The last one. Is it okay to dip your pizza in ranch dressing?
Oh, man, I was afraid this would come up. If it's really shitty pizza, I guess, because, like, you can cover it up with, you can just make it a delivery mechanism for ranch. But to me, like, ranch... I'll say this with the crust. I could be down with that. Like on the crust, if you want a dipping sauce and you got ranch, I could see that. But dipping the actual pizza in there with toppings and stuff, nah, I'm not into that.
So you're saying it's not okay?
It's not okay for me.
And I'm going to take the opinion that it's kind of like. Drinking whiskey, drinking wine. Eat your pizza the way you want to. I wouldn't do it. I don't do it. I agree with you that, especially if you go to a good pizza place and it's good pizza and you ask for a big old thing of ranch on the side, I might roll my eyes or shake my head. I might even speak up and tell you you're an idiot, but go ahead and do it. Go ahead, idiot.
I mean, there's some people who like to pour A1 on steaks too.
That might be in there at some point.
Hey, a well done steak with A1.
Yeah, well done's the preferable cook.
Yeah, no.
But I'll judge. I'm not going to say I'm not going to judge. I judge about a lot of stuff. I shouldn't, but I do. But I won't probably say anything to that person. Eat it the way you want. If you think it makes that pizza taste better, I'd call you a liar. But do it if you think it, makes you happy.
I mean, okay, so I'll this might be a question in there, but I don't know. So one thing that I occasionally will like, and this is probably going to piss off anybody who's a chef on the show, or that's listening to the show. Occasionally, I will like a little ketchup with my eggs. Okay, yeah.
Then you can't say shit about ranch on a pizza.
No, I know. That I don't normally like that, but once in a while, yeah, I'll do it. You know, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like,
I'm guessing it has to be a scrambled egg, not an over easy egg.
No, a scrambled egg for sure. And it's like, and it's almost one of those things where you got your breakfast potatoes, you got eggs, and you kind of want like a full bite. You know, like with the ketchup. You know, it kind of just it's got everything.
I'm okay with ketchup on hash browns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't put ketchup on pan fried potatoes. You know.
I do, but you know, I've been to a lot of buffets before that do pan-fried potatoes, and I put the ketchup on.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this: omelet, ketchup on top, like as a salsa topping?
No,
but is salsa okay?
Salsa's okay.
See, isn't that funny? Salsa's kind of. I mean, I put it in a category of a ketchup. You know, kind of. That might not sound right, but you know, kind of. You know,
like a salsa. So I think it depends on the type of omelet too. You know, like if it's like more of a southwestern style like omelet or something, like you have more of like a Denver omelet or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Speaking of the ranch and pizza thing, so my wife is not eating like dairy right now. We have a newborn and she's got kind of a stomach, thing, and so we're trying to figure out some things,
Yeah.
Whatever. So I wanted pizza. Like, this is the only day like Saturday is the day that I eat pizza, or that I can eat carbs. And I really wanted pizza last night. So I went to my favorite place in Houston, Pizarro's.
Okay.
And I got their New York style, well done.
Means crispy.
Crispy. And I got my pizza with roasted Roma tomatoes, ricotta, and meatball. And
just like sliced meatballs that are on top?
Yeah, sliced meatball. Oh, well, like actually they take a meatball and they kind of like quarter it or whatever, and just put it on top.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And I'm just thinking to myself, would I have any inclination of dipping that pizza in ranch? No.
Dude, you've been to my house multiple times for pizza night. Have you ever seen me go, anybody want ranch? Have I ever? No. Again,
you need to do that sometime, though.
I think I might. I think the next pizza night, I'm going to get like 4 different ranches and put them out and go, hey, just a variety in case you guys want to dip it.
I've got more of a spicy ranch. I got your normal, Hidden Valley.
This is kind of a high-end, chunky ranch. Oh, no, I'd be a blue cheese. There's a question, blue cheese or ranch?
A blue cheese all the way for me.
Same for me.
Dude, blue cheese is so good.
Yeah. I don't care if you're talking about dipping French fries. I'll take blue cheese.
Okay, blue cheese, to me, like, it can be the mild blue cheese. It can be the funky blue cheese. I don't care. I like it all.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm the same way.
And my wife...
Blue cheese on a burger, blue cheese on steak. Blue cheese, or even gorgonzola cheese gnocchi with some filet on top.
I was just going to say, gorgonzola on top of a steak is not a bad.
They're very similar cheeses, pungy, and blue cheese is a little more. Can be a little more.
I think Stilton is maybe like a toned down version of blue cheese, which I like Stilton cheese.
Here's something you can try to give me an explanation for if you think you can. My wife loves gorgonzola but hates blue cheese. Is that possible?
I think it's in her head.
Okay, I do too.
Yeah. I don't think...
I'm like, honey, you make no sense. You can't hate blue cheese, but love gorgonzola. It's like, the old, you hate Coke, but you love Pepsi, like we talked about at the beginning.
I think my wife is kind of nuts when it comes to mushrooms.
Dude, you're digging a hole. Yana, I'm going to apologize for him. My wife is kind of nuts.
No, the way her philosophy on food works. She's like, I don't mind the flavor of mushrooms, but I just don't like mushrooms. And I'm like, okay, so it's a texture thing? Is that it? Well, yeah.
Saute them.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't like raw onions, but you eat
grilled onions, sauteed onions.
Yeah,
I cook with onions in a lot of my recipes.
Yeah.
Because onions add flavor. I just don't want that bite, that fresh kind of on a burger on a salad. Yeah,
You got to try that method I told you about, the soaking them in water.
yeah. I've not tried that yet.
Just give it a go. If you hate it, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to ruin your experience, but
you can't find out if you like something if you don't try it, right? So I'm open to trying it.
That's my problem. My wife has this philosophy. Well, if I've never liked it, I'm never going to try it. And like, to me, like, there are dishes that I don't particularly like. Some Russian dishes, and my wife.
Let people know why you said that.
My wife is Russian, and we eat Russian cuisine sometimes, which is pretty underrated, to be honest.
I agree.
But anyway, she'll ask me, well, just try it again. I'll try it again, and then I'll say I still don't like it. But I will try it. I'm not going to pick it apart and all that kind of stuff like that. So I don't know. I just have like a different thing. She doesn't like caviar, and I guess I get that to a certain degree. But man, Russians love caviar for the most part, and I freaking love caviar.
I used to, but the last 3 times I've had caviar, good caviar, I've gotten sick.
Dude, just get the salmon stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's so much cheaper, and it does the trick.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the salad bowl episode. I kind of like this. That was kind of fun, just to give us kind of some talking points.
I mean, I may have come across as wanting to get divorced and just go out and like sleep with a bunch of women, but
not a bunch, just Sophia.
Well, could do worse.
Boy, you're going to be in big trouble, dude. Big trouble.
Oh my gosh, Yana, I'm sorry. I love you.
All right. Well, fun conversation, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey. And until our next episode, enjoy your next pour. And make better decisions, Matt. Better answers.
I'll try.